I'm Jenny-Jaymes and my sidekick, Christian Cano, partner in crime, is coming up next.
Hey everyone, I'm Jen's sidekick. Welcome to Two Queers in a Truck. Hi y'all.
See you soon. Hello, everybody. It is Two Queers in a Truck time with Christian and Jenny. Woo! And we are the first week of Pride Month, which is extra special. Christian, if you're listening to this, he's waving a modified Pride flag with the new modern iteration with the inverted stripes. And we've got a packed edition. We've also experimented with our other show, which is going to a shorter format. We're going to probably be maybe slightly shorter today. We're going to go to 5-minute segments instead of 6, just to see if it moves it along a little faster, save us about 6 minutes, and stick close to that 30 to 35-minute sweet spot. So let's jump right into section 1. And Eric Trump, one of the younger, dumber members of the Trump family, he decided to step to the microphone today, speaking about his dad's trial and the 34 plus felonies that his dad is facing as it goes to the jury for a verdict. And he had a slip of language. He was trying to say his dad is right, but instead of saying his dad is right, he said his dad is white. And literally deadpan said it, which is more true than the right part because his dad's not right. They are definitely white, but they can also add really, really extremely stupid. And the fact that, and I'll just say this the same way I said it about Lauren Bobo on the other show, somewhere there's a village missing its idiot or its Eric, and whoever they're paying to watch the Idiot Gate, they're not paying them enough, or they need an extra person. Because let me tell you something, he keeps escaping and getting out into the press, and he's doing his dad no favors because he is dumb. He's like triple D of dumb, and it's crazy. Like, I can't picture why Trump's legal team, specifically on this trial, being a criminal trial, why they would let any of the Trumps or anybody associated with it, but especially the Trump family, even talk. Like, did they forget about the Fifth Amendment altogether? It's just shocking that they let Trump, the dad, take the microphone, and you just go, that's not going to get him off. Like, it's not going to help his case. And the more he talks, the more deeper he's going to get. And it's not gaining him any sympathy. It's just exhausting people. People don't give a shit at this point.
Exactly. They just want it to be over with. They want him to be over with.
Well, and it's showing up, because we talked about this on the current events in the coffee show. And, the fact that Texas's Tony Gonzalez in the Uvalde district beat the MAGA candidate of the same party in the same primary, and you're seeing moderate Republicans making waves in other states. You're seeing MAGA candidates falling way behind their Democrat opponents. You're seeing it with the Arizona race for Senate. You saw it in the Alabama race where a Democrat in a solidly Republican district that voted in favor of Trump in the previous election slaughtered their opponent. The Democrat won by over 25 points. It's like a 30-point shift. And they are, I'm glad they're still doing it. I'm glad they're still being stupid. It seems like they don't have any end to their fueling their stupid behaviors, and I hope they keep going. They are just helping us win, 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 and
Yeah.
keep on shooting down abortion, keep on changing the laws, keep on keeping on, just keep on putting those fuel and flaming, it out. And happy Pride, motherfuckers, because you are going down an historic death spiral. And I don't know how you feel about it, but to me, sometimes you just sit back and let them talk. Just sit back and go, you know what?
Yeah.
Have at it, boys.
I agree. Yeah. I mean, you would think that in a way, I hate the fact that we have to continue to put up with them, but at the same time, I'm it's it's I hate to even say the word. It is there's a little bit of satisfaction in watching them implode because of all the hatred and harm they've done to this country and to other people. That it's
And
nice
and
to
you're
see.
seeing it, and you're seeing it within. You're seeing it within
Yeah,
their own team. You're seeing Republican against Republican. You're seeing
exactly.
Republicans turning on Republicans and jumping on and voting
Hmm.
Democrats. You're seeing Republicans calling out other Republicans. You're seeing Republicans getting other speakers of the House removed or voted against.
Hmm.
And you're seeing them slowly have to turn to Democrats and some in the selects independents for allyship, which means they're dependent on those Democrats, which also means they're beholden to those Democrats now, but also in the future when future votes happen. And it's just really delicious to see because that is a definite erosion of power. It's definitely an
Hmm.
erosion of their stranglehold in that power when you have to constantly check over your shoulder and constantly checking your own allies and your own party. That becomes very exhausting,
Hmm.
and it comes every time consuming, and it's stuff that we don't have to do. We can
Yeah,
just sit and wait. We can just
yeah.
say, well, time's on our side.
Hmm.
You guys aren't getting any, you aren't getting you're never getting the majority back. There's going to be a
And they're not
time.
expand. Yeah, yeah. They're not expanding their appeal.
Yeah. Well, in white people, which historically is
Hmm.
who is 90+% of the
Hmm.
Republican base, is shrinking as a
Yeah.
percentage in this
Hmm.
country. And by 2026 or less,
Hmm.
everybody but white people
Hmm.
are going to be the majority. And it's going to be one of these things
Hmm.
as the Democrat is their base shrinks. Doesn't mean it'll always be Democrat success, but it's going
Yeah,
to make it a lot harder. It's
yeah.
going to make it a lot more challenging, and I'm here for it. And our second topic, this couldn't happen to a nicer person, but the person, I'm not going to even name her name. She doesn't even deserve to be named. But the author of those crappy Harry Potter books, her family has come out in support of trans people. And so that she
Oh,
shouldn't have kept talking about trans people and she should have shut up about it a
hmm.
long time ago.
Oh my.
And this is her direct family. This is not just
Yeah,
the people that were in the movies or made the movies or
yeah.
whatever, but now her
Hmm.
her family is coming out against her and
Hmm.
saying we support the trans community. We stand in
Hmm.
solidarity with the trans community. You shouldn't have said what you kept saying. There's a time and place where
Hmm.
you just needed to shut up about it. If you got nothing to say, nothing
Yeah.
nice to say, just shut the
Hmm.
fuck up. And
Yeah.
what a great time to see the article would come out in Pride Month, and it's just gives me great satisfaction because I
Hmm.
can't stand that woman. And if she were to fall in the ocean tomorrow,
Hmm.
I wouldn't shed a tear. I'd
Yeah.
just keep scrolling. I'd just be like, I'm good.
Hmm.
I have no energy to even give this person, and it's one of the reasons I don't want to give them their name. Is we all know who we're talking about, and second class is second class. She's a second grade
Hmm.
author that rips off some of the most major genres and best works out
Hmm.
there. And if you're a plagiarist like she is, and a hack and a has
Hmm.
been, that has to stay famous by attacking a minority.
Yeah.
That's pretty sad. If you're defined by who you hate, do you even know who you really are? And I know I don't care what other people do in the bedroom. I don't care how they present. It's none of my business. Whoever you marry, whoever you sleep with, ain't none of my business. Unless you want to make it my business. But I just assume not worry. I can barely keep track of my own life. So let's be real. Like my big queer life, I'm lucky if I keep my life on the rails. I have a lot of help doing it, including my co-host here, Christian. Has given me many pep talks, many come to Jesus meetings. Many times he has kicked me square in the backside of my pants to get me going in the right direction, which I appreciate. I have many other people, including my business partner and friends and loved ones, and that's just me staying on my trajectory. Damn, I don't even have time to worry about what Christian's doing in his bedroom and what Doug's doing in his. I like it. Like that would be mind numbing. I don't know. I don't know how you feel about it, but good gosh, I don't have the time.
I think I hope that's what's happening right now, Jenny. I do hope that over this year, and especially by 2025, I hope that people are coming back to sanity and people are starting to come back to, I don't have time for all this crazy chaosness,
Yeah. Like, what is it Medea said? I don't have time for this.
Exactly. That's right.
It really is. It's to the point of being silly. It's the point of being wasteful and not being a good steward of your resources. And most of all, we're up to against our first break. We're going to take our first break right now, and we'll come back with more Two Queers in a Truck. Hey, y'all, it's International Pride Month, and I want to wish everybody, our fellow queer neighbors and our allies, a happy Pride Month. Spend money in Target and your local queer black and brown businesses as well. But happy Pride. Thanks for watching this show, and be safe out there.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride, Dave. Hey guys, I've got a special product out, and we've got a store under the name blueappliedtech.com, and you can go on our Etsy store, you can go on our social media, and you can check out our merchandise. We have some amazing snowflake Trump mugshot ornaments. We have mugs, we have pillow covers, we have a lot of cute stuff for the holiday season that you can buy. And it's great fun, and it goes to a good cause. It goes to my company, and it's helping us out getting started. And also, who doesn't want a historic snowflake Trump ornament?
Exactly.
This year.
That's funny. What's the name of it again?
And the name of the company is Blue, like the color blue, applied APPLIED Tech. Like technology.
Blue Applied Tech. Ah, cool.
And so you can look us up. We have a website, but our store is on Etsy, and a lot of people use Etsy for different types of gifts. They are assembled in the United States, so it creates American jobs, and most of all, it's a lot of fun, and they're not expensive. Cool. So,
Blue Applied Tech. Got it.
Correct. Come seek us out and buy some gifts.
Cool.
Hey, everybody, you can catch us on your favorite audio podcast platform, Spotify, and all Apple Store, the Google machine, and whoever else does podcasts. We're on there. We broke in, and we're staying. So enjoy the Two Queers in the Truck on your favorite audio podcast platform. Thanks for listening or watching. Bye-bye. Happy Pride. And we are back with our third segment, and it's going by fast, but that's okay. We're going to keep up the pace. And the next thing I want to talk about is this article in the LGBT News, or actually LGBTQ Nation is what the blog is called. And it's about somebody that wrote an article about themselves saying, I spent a lifetime hiding who I am, and then I got to go to Pride. And how they not only changed their heart, but they also realized how different their life could become once they come out, once they spend time with their community, and how empowering it was. And for somebody like myself that was a late bloomer that didn't start my physical transition until my mid 40s, and I rarely like to talk about myself too much on this show. There's still a lot of things I won't talk about in my personal life on this show because it just isn't necessary, nor do I want to paint targets on certain people's backs. I get enough hate mail. Christian gets enough hate mail.
Mhm.
We can strip enough
Mhm.
hate on our own just fine. Like, we don't need to
Mhm.
hurt anybody else. But this guy named Brent Spentbridge, um, he or actually, I guess that's the name of the bridge in downtown
Mhm.
Cincinnati. I'm trying to find his name in the actual article, but maybe he's not wanting to quote himself. But
Mhm.
this person that came out, I'm assuming is gay.
Mhm.
Um, he was in awe of just everything about the Pride celebration, the parade, and
Mhm.
the booths, and the festivals, and just seemed in awe of it. And sometimes we forget because some of us have been going to Prides for 10 or 20 or 30 years,
Yeah,
and we forget how a first timer may see it as
sure.
somebody that's been in the closet maybe all their life, maybe 10, 20, 30, 40
Mhm.
years or longer. And then when they get the chance, it's almost like a jailbreak. You can just see the look on.
Yep.
You can tell people that are first time visitors to a Pride. They have a certain
Mhm.
look, like they've gotten to go to Disneyland and the Super Bowl at
Yep.
the same time, and they're very excited. They look completely lost, usually tears in their eyes, and it's a
Mhm.
very powerful moment. And I know when I've volunteered for different Pride organizations, including Charlotte Pride, a lot of times we'll ask people, "What was your first Pride experience?" Or what Pride event did you go to, or do you remember anything about your first experience? And I think it's one of the most powerful moments that we all had that first time that we went to
Mhm.
some sort of Pride event, and we went, "Wow, this is here." Like,
Yep.
this been here this whole time, and it's
Mhm.
kind of bittersweet because one, you go, gosh, I waited so long to come out, but now that
Mhm.
I'm out, I want to experience everything all at once. And I don't know, how did you feel when you went to that first Pride event? What was that feeling that you had?
You hit the nail right on the head. It was it it was like Disney World, Disneyland, I guess. You're like, wow, this is good, this is great. It was affirming. It was validating. It was just to see so many different people, the diversity, it was really, really nice. And I completely agree with you, Jenny. That's what's so special about Pride is those of us who have been to them for a long time. Sometimes we have to remember there are people who have never been to one, and it's so important for them, and so it's a sometimes you think, well, in 2024, surely there's not people who, you know, you know, I know that's being said by someone who has the privilege and the ability to be out and so forth, but it hasn't always been that way,
Yeah.
for many people, it's still not. That's what's so surprising.
Every
So,
year, every
yeah,
year there is queer eggs that hatch,
yep,
and they come
yep,
out of the eggshell and come out of the closet.
mm-hmm,
And it's a very sometimes we come out more than once,
yeah,
and
mm-hmm,
sometimes it's about our sexuality, and the next time it's about our gender, and so many
mm-hmm,
of us go through the trials and tribulations of this whole rodeo more than once in our lifetime, no matter why you're coming out, it's a powerful moment. And and you never forget it. It's
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I went to my first support group meeting for being trans, and I was sitting there predominantly dressed as a boy. No attempt at makeup, no attempt at feminine clothes. Still going by my boy name. I hadn't even
Mm-hmm.
decided on for sure which girl name I was going to pick. I had my leanings, but I was still going by my male name, my dead name. Um, so everybody in the group that met me that night met me with that masculine name, even. And
Mm-hmm.
it was the second session that I actually said, "Oh, by the way, this is what my girl name's going to be,
Mm-hmm.
or is what it is now," and
Mm-hmm.
had to reintroduce myself. And so those moments of just holy crap, I'm actually doing this, and ripping off the
Mm-hmm.
band-aid is a hell of a rush. It's a hell of a drug. And it really is life changing. And you can remember those moments years. I mean, that for me, the that was in 2016. That was 8 years ago, a little over
Yeah.
8 years ago. I still remember it like it happened last week, and
Mm-hmm.
probably can remember that more than I can remember what I did last. I'm not even sure what I did last week, actually. If you want to
Yeah.
know the truth, I've been so
Mm-hmm.
busy, the days are blurring together. But
Mm-hmm.
our next topic, our fourth topic, is about a trans actress from Spain. She's actually a Spanish actress. She goes by the name Carla Sofia Gascon, and a beautiful woman, amazingly talented actress that won Actress at Cannes Film Festival, the big thing in the south of
Oh.
France. It's one of the most
Mm-hmm.
famous film festivals of all time. So she was the first trans woman to ever win Best Actress in this film
Oh, wow.
festival.
Mm-hmm.
She received a 11-minute standing ovation at the film festival, and has gotten international acclaim. They've said her performance, which I have not seen myself, say it's
Mm-hmm.
phenomenal. But it's neat to see specifically me being also a trans person and genderqueer person.
Mm-hmm.
It's neat for me to see somebody, a sibling that's similar to me, win an award like that, but also break one of those glass ceilings that is not just for trans women, but for women, period. Because many
Sure.
times we don't, as women, we end up not getting the recognition. We don't get the articles written about us. It's usually
Mm-hmm.
written about our male counterparts or somebody with a masculine identity. And it's
Mm-hmm.
neat to see her just featured in this article. It's neat to see her being one of the big headlines coming out of Cannes, which is a huge film festival. If you don't even know,
Mm-hmm.
you have to know much about the film industry to know what Cannes is,
Yeah.
and that it's the fancy dancy thing that I've never been
Mm-hmm.
to, and I would that way, if you named one of my
Mm-hmm.
top 5 dream trips, it would be to go to that film festival and soak all everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like to see if they even had fancier popcorn there would be pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, stupid stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the devil's in the details, but just those type of experiences don't come along often. And congratulations to Carla and
Do you know what movie she was in, or did they say?
I gotta look at the movie, what the name of the
Okay.
movie was called,
Yeah.
but they really concentrated more on talking about her. In fact,
Sure.
the film festival is 77 years old, so it's the first time in
Yeah.
77 years that this has happened.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
Um, but the musical, it's an actual Spanish language musical,
Okay.
and the musical is called Emilia Perez. And
Okay.
so it's Emilia Perez, Perez, and it is
Okay.
a musical that has several other people in it, and it's supposed to be a phenomenal movie and film and musical. But what a cool thing that a trans woman got to win Best Actress, and the
Yeah.
first time in 77 years. So almost 80 years in the making, and just what a cool moment for them, but also for my community at large as well, because there's many times we don't get any recognition unless we're murdered or something. And so it's nice to see a positive story about my community, and to see a sister be able to go on and win some amazing award like that in a film festival I've always just wanted to visit. But anyway, we're up against our second break with Two Queers in a Truck, and we'll be right back with some more show.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching us on Two Queers in a Truck. Don't forget, you can watch us anytime at your leisure on our video podcast platforms like Facebook and YouTube. But you can also listen to us, either this show or any of our past shows, on our audio podcast platforms like Apple, Amazon, Google, Spotify, and all of the other ones. So once again, thank you for watching Two Queers in a Truck. I hope you enjoy our show.
And we are back. And this is flying along. So we're moving at a pretty record pace here, blistering along with these five. You cut 1 minute off, and it feels like you cut an entire arm off or something. It's scooting. But the next subject is we're going to talk about. There's a town that has voted to overwhelmingly vote in favor of flying the Progress Pride flags. And one of the reasons many towns have been either banning them or not lighting up bridges. In Florida, the big bridge, I think it's just outside of Tampa, had voted to not allow the bridge to be lit up with the rainbow lights this year. They're going to do the red, white, and blue lights instead during June. But the residents of Williamstown, Massachusetts, 175 people voted for a bylaw allowing the Progress Pride flag to be flown at the town flag poles, and only 90 people voted against it, so it was contested. But at a time when a lot of other cities have banned pride events or pride flags or drag queens or trans people or many of the other things, and gay men too. But they said no, we want this. The overwhelming majority said we want this. All citizens had the right to vote on this. 175 chose to vote in favor for it. So congratulations to Williamstown, Massachusetts, for standing up for the queer community and letting their actual pride flag fly. And it's the inverted pride flag that you have, the one that you waved at the beginning of the show. And that has both the black and brown stripe, but also has the non-binary, the intersex symbol, and of course the traditional rainbow going the opposite direction. And what a cool thing it is to see regular day people, not just queer people. It wasn't just queer people that voted on this. But a town that represents a larger community saying, we want this. We don't want to regress back. We want to keep going forward. In fact, we want the most progressive version of the flag possible, the most up-to-date version. And it's pretty cool that they are making sure that they're staying up with the times in a very small town. It's a very, very small town.
But don't you think, Jenny, in a way, I'm interested why they made the decision to vote. I mean, that's true democracy, because I would rather a town or a city let their citizens vote than the city council make the decision if they're going to ban something, right? Because then everyone had the ability to raise the voice instead of just the loudest, the most obnoxious.
Yeah, or an elected body official, 10 or 11 people. Like our city council has 11 people on it, plus the mayor.
Sure.
And when you put it to a general vote, you say, anybody wants to vote on this can. As we all know, that very few people do vote in elections. In fact, sometimes it's less than 12% of the vote. 12% of the potential vote. But I completely agree. I love the fact that they turned it over to the townspeople and said, y'all vote on it. majority wins, and the fact
Yeah.
that majority voted for in favor of the flag
Mm-hmm.
speaks to the integrity of the leadership, but also
Yep.
to the town itself, and saying, we spoke, this is the
Yep.
deal, and we're all going to live
Yep.
with it. And
Yep.
it's cool because it didn't end up dividing the town. There's been no negative consequences because of it. It's been a
Yep.
very positive story. You can tell by
Mm-hmm.
the article that there is nobody really saying, oh, this is a bad thing. Everybody
Sure.
said their piece, and everybody that
Do you
wanted to
think that's
vote
because
got
they?
to vote.
Yeah, I mean, because how could they complain unless they were Trump? How could they
Yeah,
complain? It was democracy. You know
yeah.
what? You had a
Well,
chance to vote.
if you wanted to play victim, I guess you could, but you'd look
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
jackass, you know. And,
Yeah.
and
Exactly.
I think that is the problem that people have with
Yeah.
people like Trump or his idiot son or Boebert,
Mm-hmm.
is that people are looking at him going, you do have privilege. And in
Yeah.
spite of your privilege, you're still on trial for 34 felony charges, jackass.
Exactly.
Like, you know, usually you get out of
Yeah.
it, but this time you're
Yeah.
not. You're in the find out
Yeah.
phase of accountability.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why people are kind of done with him or over it, or just saying, you know what, dude, we've been there, we bought the t-shirt, we bought your bullshit for a long time. Even Republicans now are not buying into it. And I think we're at a point in time where people are generally supporting pride events, and honestly, this should be the last topic, is in general, and you and I are part of going to Charlotte Pride, experiencing everything Charlotte Pride has to offer. We typically march in the parade on the second day. We did last year with Moms Demand Action, as we typically do. We Christian and I both are not only members of the LGBT community, but we also are out in doing our civic duty, our political duty. We go to many political events representing our community. Um, but one of the amazing things about Charlotte Pride is it is so diverse that you see all kinds of faith communities, you see all kinds of ethnic communities, you see a diversity in political viewpoints, you see maybe not necessarily the Republicans, but you do see other
Mm-hmm.
political parties other than the Democrats. You do see a tremendous amount of different diverse businesses, everything from
Mm-hmm.
AT&T to the banks to McDonald's to the mom and pop businesses, you know, to the local chiropractor, whatever. You see
Yeah.
kids events, you see entertainment, music. It's as diverse as you can think it could. Pride's about as diverse as you think it actually can be. It's
Yeah.
all walks of life, all ages, from little bitty babies with their families, all the way up to the
Mm-hmm.
most senior people that can make it there some way, somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a beautiful. It's for everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody's welcome.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got moms out there doing the free hugs thing.
Mm-hmm.
You. It's just about love. I've always said LGBT actually spells LOVE. It spells love. For the people
Mm-hmm.
that can't spell, it spells love. And
Exactly.
spoiler alert,
Yeah.
is it's another way of saying love. I love you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's the most beautiful and basic message because we're all social creatures. We all want to be loved. We all want to crave to be loved, and we all want to love other people. We weren't meant to not be social. The whole
Mm-hmm.
aspect of this podcast is to be social, is for more than just Christian and I to do this, but also to have listeners enjoy this or benefit from it, or at the very least go, "Gosh, I'm glad I'm not those two jackasses." You know, whatever your motivation is to listen to this show, we appreciate
Exactly.
you. You probably are in our community, or you're an ally of our community, or even if you hate our community, you know what? Thanks for listening
Mm-hmm.
anyway. And it's the whole point. This is a labor of love. I mean, first and foremost, I didn't do this, and Christians the same way. In fact, we just had this conversation last week. You didn't get into this for
Mm-hmm.
money or even fame, because Christian and I both were well known before we did this. Christian
Yeah.
ran for political
Mm-hmm.
office
Mm-hmm.
twice. I have done political speeches and been part of movements in multiple states. So as Christian, he's all over the place too. We both get around, and we both have dedicated a good majority of our adult life to our community and to our actual overall communities, including the Charlotte, North Carolina area. And I know I can't speak for Christian, he'll speak for himself, but I know that first and foremost, I always am thinking about my community. I'm always, one of the first few things I think about when I wake up is how much I love my community and how can I be of service. And as a servant leader, um, I will always probably think that way the rest of my life. Doesn't mean I don't want to make money and stuff. I'd love to make money on this gig. I'm not going to hurt my feelings
Yep,
if Christian and I come up for a way to monetize this, which we're working on and hatching right now. So if you
exactly.
are listening and you do have the potential of sponsoring us, hit us up. I mean, you
Exactly.
can find us on the social media. I have no
Mhm.
shame. I will ask. If you are a business owner or an
Mhm.
influencer and you would love to send us some advertising dollars, I'm your girl. I can tell you right now, I have zero shame in accepting incentives to hawk your product, and we will make a handy dandy, beautiful commercial, brand spanking new just for you.
Exactly.
Boy, do I have a deal for you. We got
That's
guns that
right.
look like knives and knives that look like guns on this show, and we will sell your stuff too. But you know,
Mhm.
I know that you want to say something about our community and how much you love our community too, Christian.
I completely agree, Jenny. You nailed it right on the head again. I mean, both of us didn't do this to make lots of money, even though we don't mind if it does happen. Uh, Knowing you, you would probably spend most of your money back in the community, as would I.
Yeah,
So yeah, this has been a very special community, and I hope that this show and all the shows and the other show that we do and the shows that we hope to do starting in the fall uh, touches people. And I know that your words and this show, the people who watch and listen to us, I hope they continue to watch and listen. So
yeah,
I
absolutely.
agree. Mhm.
As we always see, we'll see you next week, and we mean it.
Yep.
We always look forward to the next show, which we do these once a week. We drop these once a week, and
Mhm.
it's Wednesday is our for Christian and I. Because we're more family than friends.
Mhm.
We've known each other
Mhm.
quite a while,
Feels
and
like
we
forever.
it feels like forever. I can't quit you,
I
and we're
can't
stuck
quit
with.
you, Ennis.
Yeah, we've gotten to the point where this is like a sibling deal. Like we're brother and
I
sister
know.
because we really are, and
Yeah.
we've seen each other go through our ups and downs and
Yeah.
our victories, and we've consoled each other when we've had the hard days. I wouldn't
Mhm.
trade it for the world, and I wouldn't trade my experiences with my community at large either.
Mhm.
And we both know that it's not the easiest thing to do to be a public figure. We've been public figures for quite a while, and when
Mhm.
you put yourself up on that stage, it also comes with a tremendous amount of responsibility. It comes with a tremendous amount of getting targeted, even by people that you would think would be your allies.
Yeah.
Sometimes the devil,
Mhm. Mhm. That's
isn't the
right.
friend. Like Luana always says, not all skin folk are kinfolk, and
That's right.
we Christian and I have seen that play out, but you still it wouldn't keep neither one of us would keep us. There's not one single incident that would keep us from doing this, and it hasn't. We still do it in spite of maybe even our better judgment. But this is it. This was the last segment for this week's show. And we're going to dance on out. And we will see y'all next week with some more Two Queers in a Truck. Bye, boo.
Woo.
Y'all be
Bye,
safe.
boo. Happy Pride. Happy Pride
Happy
Month.
Pride.
Bye.
Yes. Hey, y'all. Thanks for watching Two Queers in a Truck. And it is International Pride Month, the first week of it. So thanks for tuning in. Be safe out there because it is a hot month of June. And we will see you next week. Bye, boo.
Happy Pride. Bye, boo.